Day 12, a study in Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 12, the root of righteousness. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates reproof is stupid. A good man obtains favor from the Lord, but a man of evil devices he condemns. No one is established by wickedness, but the root of righteousness will never be moved. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are just, the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright delivers them. The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous will stand. A man is commended according to his good sense, but the one of twisted mind is despised. Better to be lowly and have a servant than to play the great man and lack bread. Whoever is righteous has regard for the life of his beast, but the mercy of the wicked is cruel. Whoever works his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits lacks sense. Whoever is wicked covets the spoil of evildoers, but the root of righteousness bears fruit. An evil man is ensnared by the transgression of his lips, but the righteous escapes from trouble. From the fruit of his mouth a man is satisfied with good, and the work of a man's hand comes back to him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. The vexation of a fool is known at once, but the prudent ignores an insult. Whoever speaks the truth gives honest evidence, but a false witness utters deceit. There is one whose rash words are like a sword thrust, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of those who devise evil, but those who plan peace have joy. No ill befalls the righteous, but the wicked are filled with trouble. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of the fools proclaim folly. The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. One who is righteous is a guide to his neighbor, but the way of the wicked leads him astray. Whoever is slothful will not roast his game, but the diligent man will get precious wealth. In the path of righteousness is life, and in its pathway there is no death. Our proverb for today is verses 3 and verse 12. Verse 3, no one is established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous will never be moved. Verse 12, whoever is wicked covets the spoil of evildoers, but the root of the righteous bears fruit. One of my least favorite memories growing up on a farm was taking out stumps. The digging, the sawing, the chopping and pulling, over and over you labored doing these things. Just about the time you cut what you thought was the main root holding the stump, you found another. And the process started all over again. Hours turned into days. Days sometimes turned into weeks. There were some stumps we simply left to rot, having become so frustrated. I understand why some people resorted to dynamite. In the physics of engineering, you need the equivalent amount of weight below ground as you have above ground to keep the skyscrapers from toppling. The same is true for trees. But it's not just the physics aspect of keeping a tree upright. It is also the fact that it is the roots that nourish the tree by providing nutrients and water from the ground. Here in the northern part of Michigan and other states and countries where trees are coming out of a time of hibernation, as it were, the warming temperatures are thawing the ground and activating the roots to send sap up to the limbs to prepare for spring's arrival. In the maple trees, that sap is harvested and processed into maple syrup and other sugary products. I have an appreciation for what Solomon presents in these two passages from chapter 12, having removed stumps and tapped trees to make maple syrup. The stability and that which the root provides for sustenance. In each verse, the wicked are shown for their wantonness. Wickedness cannot be the foundation for anything that will last. Jesus told about the seed that fell on the rocky ground. Without roots, the plant withers. So it is with the wicked. They cannot be established. With what shall they anchor themselves? Evil and wickedness build on shifting shapes of shadows. There are no virtues with which they can hold on to in evil. Solomon warned from the outset in chapter 1 of being enticed by sinners. In chapter 1, verse 10, "My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent." He tells the result in verse 19, "Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessors." Solomon further writes in chapter 2 of the benefits of wisdom, knowledge, discretion, and understanding. These are the roots of righteousness that bear fruit. This is what they do. In chapter 2, verses 12 through 15, "Delivering you from the way of evil and from men of perverted speech, who forsake the paths of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice in doing evil and delight in the perverseness of evil, men whose paths are crooked and who are devious in their ways." Evil unbridled begets more evil, and the wicked are never satisfied with just a little. They covet more and more. Where are your roots, and how deep are they? And Lord willing, let's meet again here tomorrow.